Hi, so in this video, we will be learning how to set up a database. And in this video, I will be using MySQL. So first of all, we can go into mysql.com/downloads. And then we can scroll down and click on MySQL Community GPL Downloads. For Mac or Linux users, we can go to MySQL Community Server. Select your operating system here, for example Mac, and then download the DMG archive. And for Windows user, we can install the MySQL installer for Windows, and then choose the MySQL installer community, download, and then we can skip the Oracle account and just start the download. Now that it's finished downloading, we can open it, and then right here we can just install the developer default, and then choose a directory and execute. Now that it's done installing, we can click on next, and if the connector for Python shows a failed installation, don't worry about it because we will be installing it using pip. So next one, we can configure our server. So here we can click on development computer. I can leave this. Use a strong password, and then create your password, and then click on next. Right here we can start the MySQL server at system startup. Click on next, and then execute. And then if it's done, we can click on finish. So we can click on cancel, yes. And now that we've installed everything we need, we can close this and then go to MySQL workbench. Now that we have our server installed, we can see here in MySQL connections there's a local instance MySQL, and if we click on this, we will need to input our password, and then click on schemas, right click, and then create. So you can create your first database. I'll call this coding guide, and then apply. Now we can close this, and if we see on the navigator, we can click this, and then tables, right click, create table. And for this, let's say I'll call the table accounts. And then for the column, I'll create an ID column, and then username, and finally date. We can also change the data type. There are lots of data types here, but for the date, I will use date time. We can delete this one, and then apply, finish. And if you click on this, select rows, we can see here our database table. Next, we will need to connect this to our bot. So first of all, we can install python -m pip install mysql connector python. Then we can see that it's downloading and it's successfully installed. And then inside our extensions, I can import my SQL connector, MySQL dot connector actually, So let me delete this for now. Okay, so here, to connect our bot to the database, we can create a variable. I'll call this con for connection or connector. So mysql.connector .connect, and then our host, we can use localhost here, and a user is root. For password, we can input our password, and then finally database is our database name, so we call it coding guide. And then for the database name, we can see here coding guide, so coding guide. After we've created the connector, next con.commit equals true, and then finally we need a cursor as well, so I'll create a new variable. I'll call it c con.cursor buffered equals true. We can leave this blank as well. Let me add another one, so Discord ID. And if we come back here, so the ID is, we can change this to auto increment, apply, so I can leave this blank. For the Discord ID, it was this and then this, and if I apply this, now to check if our database is connected to our bot, so c.execute, select username from accounts, where ID equals, let's say sender, and then for the sender it will be string ctx.author.id, username equals c.fetch1. We will discuss this more in the next video. Then we can put await ctx.respond, username is string, username list, the first one in the list, because fetch one or even fetch all fetches the select values as a list. I'm sorry, this should be Discord ID, not ID. And if we restart our bot and then test this again, so test, we can see our username here. This proves that our database is connected to our bot. That is all for this video. See you on the next one.